Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man? Welcome to the Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to another edition of the Swimming Pool. Say what you mean. It is the acronym. I like it. Do you like it? Well, who is that guy right there? Well, it's me. My name is Travis Bridges, and this is my Halloween edition of the live stream tonight. And if you like it, that's good. I hope you do. I have a sort of different setup, as I've been saying. I'm kind of sort of in transition right now, and I'm gonna be kind of doing it from the Hollywood home studio, still abroad, kind of, sort of, but in the process of breaking down and moving around. Anyway, I need to hear from my monitors to let me know that I'm okay, everything is good, because I do have some stuff, but I don't have everything. So please just give me a go and say, hey, you're good, or tell me what I need to do before I move a little forward. I do have a guest tonight, and we're going to talk, and at the end of the live stream, I am going to play a trailer that's on my my channel. Happy Halloween, belated. Anyway, I'm going to play a trailer that's on my channel. It's entitled Not Fair. If you are a regular follower of mine, you probably have seen it already, and if you haven't, then check it out. Now, it is the trailer, and there is a documentary that also follows it. You'll have to search my channel to find it. It's entitled Not Fair, and it's cool. It's got some information. It is the original idea of what I was thinking whenever I was coming up with Say What You Mean, where I would have conversations with folk just to listen. That's what this SWYM is about. It's the acronym for Say What You Mean. It's about listening, hearing, understanding, paying attention, meaning what you're saying what you're meaning, and kind of sort of deciphering the difference between what you're feeling or what you're thinking, and seeing if it kind of sort of correlates, if I could use that word, with what you're actually saying out of your mouth. Okay? Because it's easy to get it mixed up, because we talk often, in our feelings, and we talk in our emotions, of course, and our thoughts, and, sometimes that doesn't always line up, and you have to say, well, what do you mean? Well, is this what you're saying? This is what I'm hearing anyway. It's kind of one of those things. So I do have a caller that's standing by, and we're going to get with that caller. By chance, if you'd like to chat with me, I'd love to chat with you. You can email me at travisbridges2@aol.com. That's Travis Bridges and the number 2. And I'm kind of excited about, my journey over the past few months, I've been away and I've been working on some stuff, and I do have a lot to digest, and it's going to take a lot of time. It's good to kind of sort of, I don't know, I guess do something different. My lifestyle insisted that I stay close to home and manage things that were of priority for me, responsibility, particularly involving family. And I did that. And when the time came for me to make a move, I didn't hesitate. I was nervous, but I wasn't afraid. And I made the move. And I'm kind of sort of ending the initial part of that. And I'll be getting back to some sort of normalcy real soon, and I thank you for hanging out with me and going through this process with me. Sometimes people can afford to go on the couch with a therapist, and I have done that many times, and I'm still doing it as we speak. But sometimes, you have to go inside yourself and find out what's wrong with you, or in my case, what's wrong with you, what's wrong with me. It's not bad. Therapy is a good thing if you can either afford it or if you have some friends that will listen to you. It's always good to check yourself out, your feelings, your thoughts, and your emotions. See if they are lining up with what you're saying. I think that's a big part of what therapy is about. I wish I had some grooving music to go, but I don't. I'm kind of on a skeletal type setup here, and it's okay. Who am I speaking to? Kimberly and R. Monk. That's all I got, and that's all I need. I appreciate it, but I do have 5 other people that are hanging out with me. I appreciate that too. Hey, what just happened? Oh, nothing just happened. Keep going. Okay, as I said, I do have at the end of the live stream, I'm going to play the Not Fair trailer, and it's interesting. I did that over a year ago, and I'm going to play that, but I'm going to take a little short break, and I'm going to get my caller on the line, and I'll be back. Oh, by the way, we're talking about doing what you're saying. Do what you say. Doing what you say you're going to do, following up, and being respectful of time and being considerate of time. And then, the Not Fair trailer is talking about who are you? Are you what you do? Some people seem to think that you are what you do, and I kind of like disagree with that, but you will hear my side of the story in the trailer, and if you search for the documentary on my channel, you'll get to hear a little bit more. It's kind of entertaining. It's also educational. You be the judge and let me know. But what I's gonna do right now is take this little short break. If I can find my little break. Let's see, here it is. I'm gonna take my little short break. Where is it? I promise y'all it's gonna be all right. Where is my stuff? That's all right. I'll get it in a minute. By the way, instead of being in the full oh, here it is. Here's the promo. All right, so do me a favor. Hold the spot you got. I'll be right back. I'll have a caller on, and we're going to be talking about doing what you say you're going to do, following up, and being considerate of time and being respectful, and then disappearing, as well as who are you. Okay? Thanks for hanging out. I'll be right back.
The Swimming Pool with Travis Bridges is a talk segment about talking. Talk about talking? Yes, talk about talking. It's designed to bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear, and what we do with the information we receive during communication. The mind is automatically programmed to protect the body and soul. It displays that through each and every encounter we experience. If any part of the body is threatened, the mind will automatically issue the flight command. The flight command to retreat to safety. Well, that same command is also deployed when our ego is threatened. The ego, yes, hello? The ego. It's so natural and common, it happens oftentimes without us even knowing. Engaging in conversation and staying focused on what is present is considered mental fitness. It strengthens our emotions and helps us to gain control of our circumstances instead of having our circumstances overtake our thinking and our very existence. It's a difficult task to achieve because our feelings, beliefs, and desires are so strong that it causes us to totally disregard even the most common or basic reasoning. This live stream is only here to bring awareness to that subconscious process. Nothing or no one is actually wrong. However, the idea of being open to anything outside of what we've already concluded is golden, especially if the new information is transparent. The SWYM developers would like to say thanks for supporting, watching, listening, and sharing this information. Now, back to the swimming pool. Let's dive in and swim.
Okay, I think I am back. I can't hear. Welcome to the Halloween edition, the late Halloween edition. Hey, I'm just kind of saying that. Anyway, let me take this off and get back to my normal self here. Anyway, welcome back to the swimming pool. I am your host, Travis Bridges. I'm my mama's fifth son. And when I've been writing my book, I've been kind of ending some chapters when I'm talking about myself by saying my mother's fifth child. I guess you'll get it when you start reading the book, but it's kind of cool. Anyway, this is the swimming pool. It's the acronym SWYM, SWYM, the acronym for say what you mean. Oftentimes we say what we feel or what we think or what we believe, and it doesn't always correspond with what's coming out of our mouth. And I just like the idea of bringing awareness to that and having conversations with good old-hearted people, and then just discussing, what we're really meaning, and always settling any kind of issue or dispute. When people disappear, or they get lost, or they go hide somewhere, it's just not cool, man. It's just not cool. Now, if someone's hurting you or harming you, then by all means, you stay away from people. But if you have an aught with your brother, I hope I'm using the word right. If you have a problem with your brother, sister, husband, wife, whatever, neighbor, pick up the phone. Go talk to him. Don't just hold a grudge, because it turns into all kinds of stuff inside. And before you know it, you're sick and looking crazy. Talk it out. Come on, man. Talk. What's wrong with y'all? Why can't you talk to some doggone body? Anyway, I have my guest on the phone, and are we ready? Are we ready? We're ready for y'all. Okay. Hey, Christine. How you doing? Christine's in the house. Hey, my caller's there. You there? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad at all. It's going to be a little shorter than normal tonight. I think I'm going to shut off about 15 minutes earlier. I was telling my audience that I do at the end of when we're done with our chat, I'm going to play a trailer that's on my my channel, and it's called Not Fair. Okay. I have a trailer, and then I have a documentary. I also have a couple of other ones. They're good stuff, good entertainment and education. And we're still not off. I have a couple of subjects that are going on. We're still talking about gays and lesbians. We're still talking about mind, body, and soul. All those things are still kind of in the mix. They're just kind of fading out a little bit. But we're going to start something new tonight, you and me. Not even new, but a little different. And I don't even know if it's a title, but just for lack of a title, for lack of a better word, so to speak, doing what you say you're going to do, following up, being respectful and considerate of time, especially other people's time, and the disappearing act I was just talking about. What comes to mind when someone has to remind another person to do what they say they're going to do? What does that do for your mind, body, and soul right now as we're talking about it?
When people say they're going to do something, because sometimes you got to remember people are human. So that's just like I'm going to say, well, Scott, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy you a loaf of bread. I see you're low on bread. And then I come back and I don't have any bread. And you don't say anything to me. I forgot. So I said I was going to do something. I didn't do it. I forgot. How do you feel? How do you just go about your everyday like, okay, no problem. But that's when I think people are like, oh my gosh, she said she was going to buy me some bread and she didn't do it. So that causes a problem sometimes with people when you forget what you say you're going to do. So we have to be mindful as, just people to keep your word, because at the end of the day, that's pretty much all you have is your word. And like I said, something as simple as forgetting to get a loaf of bread, and you don't say anything about it. I don't say anything about it, but then you're harboring feelings. You're upset, and I don't know why. Because you didn't, say, well, you forgot the bread.
It's amazing.
Hold on. Know that.
It's amazing you're talking about such a trivial subject. Of course, it gets way deeper than that. Going and buying bread, that's one thing. But, when you owe somebody some bread and you forget, that's a whole nother story. If you forget, though, that's another thing. Because, that's kind of sort of normal. But
right.
If you say you're going to do something, and you don't do it, it's just not cool to the person you told that to. And I'm going to go on record and say I have done it 150 quadruple trillion times. But I don't make it a habit. I try to make, because I expect that. And it's one of the things that I found out, when I did my own research, and I'm still doing it. I talked about therapy a few minutes ago, and I wrote in my book about it too. That's going to be coming out real soon. It's like, I think I try to do those things because I expect those things. Chances are, if I tell you I'm going to do something, if you know me, I'm pretty sharp at it. If I forget something, then I admit that I forget. But, I'm talking about me for a minute. But I'm talking about people who just, I don't know, have not either learned that lesson or they just don't care. And I just want to talk about it, because we probably need to do better. Small things. You talked about, buying bread, and I kind of got on you just now. You didn't even know it. I was talking about how trivial it was. But, it's the small things that make big difference. If I tell you I'm going to show up at 4:30 and then at 4:40 I'm calling you and telling you something happened, man, that ain't cool. And it kind of bothers me. Or if I tell you I'm going to call you back at a certain time and then I don't call you back, or if I tell you I'm going to pay you your money on Tuesday and then I don't hear from you at all, it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? And then you go absent. If I tell you I'm going to be doing something for you or bringing something to you or whatnot, and then I don't do it, then I go, don't answer my phone when I see you calling. Or, you text me and I tell you, hey, I'm busy, I'll call you right back. But wait a minute. Okay, you're busy, you call me. But what about what you said you were going to do an hour ago? Talk about it. Anyway, I'll let you go a little bit because I'm going to start ranting in a little bit.
But I'm just saying, what if that person forgot? Just like I said.
Okay, listen, hold on. Okay, stop. Hold on. You answer, if you forgot, and then I confront you and you say you forgot, then you know what you have to do then? You have to then do whatever it takes to make me whole. If you cost me 30 minutes of time, you made me late for something, or, then if you really forgot, then that means your heart is in the right place and you're willing to be respectful of what that person may have lost by expecting you to do what you said you were going to do. It's okay to forget. I mean, it's not cool. I mean, but if
you have to remember people are human, so that's why I say sometimes you have to remember, just like I said, okay, I went to the grocery store and I saw, I remember you were low on bread, I'm going to buy you a loaf of bread on my way back. And I come back and like we chit-chat like nothing ever happened, and you don't say anything because I forgot, but now you're upset. But why?
I don't know why. Forgot. Yeah, but my point is this.
But just say, okay, well, did you get the bread? Oh, what? I forgot.
Well, again, we're talking trivial. We're talking trivial stuff, and I guess it is. The small things still do make big differences, but it's like, come on, man. Do I have a point tonight? Am I making any sense? I mean, is this worth even talking about? I mean, help me out. I mean, it's common. People do it all the. Come on, and if you're by chance, if you're listening to me or watching me either right now or next week or next year or whenever, and you need to do better, ain't nobody getting on your case. Just do a little better. Because when you say you're going to do something, do it. And okay, let me just go to one thing. It's like, okay, bills. Okay, when you're late on your bills, I don't want to say it's different. But, people say, well, why don't you call us and tell us, make arrangement. They call it make payment arrangements. You have to. Oh, let me see. I need to plug in my. Oh man, where's my cable? Oh, I hope I don't run out of juice. Where's my I'm gonna need this.
Yeah.
So are you talking to somebody else, or are we back? You with me? You and me, are we together?
I'm here.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay, so my point is, when you say you're gonna do something, you got to do it. I'm kind of losing thought because I realize I'm running low on juice right here, and I've got to plug my. Oh, here we go. I should be good now. Am I making any sense? Am I making a good? Is this a good subject? I mean, can we all do better?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
It's not hard. It's not hard, but when you have people who also have a lot of things going on, so we have to be understanding as well. So you can't just, oh my God, I can't believe you forgot the bread. Oh my God, I needed this. Okay, it's like I forgot. I'm human. I forgot this. It's a lot going on. I just forgot. So you have to be patient and give that person a chance to make it up. Like, okay, well, you forgot. Oh, I'm going back right now, and I'm going to go to the store, and then I'll go get it right now. So you're good.
Right. Okay, I want to hear from my chat room. I want somebody to chime in on these. Christine, where are you? Kimberly, what's going on? Armand, talk to me. I mean, nobody's. I mean, okay, we're created in the image of our Creator, who speaks and says, "Let there be light," and then there was light. Okay. No, we're not perfect, but we can do better, and that's all I'm saying. And I don't want anybody to say, "Well, you said you were going to do something, you didn't do it," because I'm the first to admit, yeah, I have a few things that I've reneged on, and I've had meetings with myself, and I've consulted with the Lord. And I believe I'm okay, because it's like, when you repent, when you turn away from the things that you, when you don't keep doing it, it's one thing to make a mistake, or to just mess up, and then when you know better, you're just supposed to do better. So that's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And if you're out there and you're listening to me, send me an email, travisbridges2@aol.com. That's Travis Bridges and the number 2. Let me know what you think about what I'm saying. Nobody's claiming to be perfect. What does Kimberly say? No, you usually do what you say. This is my friend Kimberly. She knows me, and she knows that I guess I do try to stay on top of it. I'm not perfect, and I may forget sometimes. But I mean, well, you've known me for a long time. You know me to be pretty sharp. Are you watching TV? What are you doing? I'm talking to you now. What?
Up to you. Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about this here before we go. I asked you a question if you knew me to be pretty sharp, because I know I'm not perfect, but I try to, especially when it comes to business. Like, as a musician, I say this with pride. I've never ever been late to a gig. I'm that guy that'll show up like so early.
2 hours early.
Huh? Yeah, I'll show up early, and I'll be there even sometimes before the clients are there, because it just means that much to me. I just want to do good, and especially if I put a tag on it, it's like, okay, this is what it's going to cost me to do this. I make sure that my clients get their money's worth, and then some. I do way more than that I even tell them I'm going to do. And it's just the kind of dude I am. And you know what I think it comes from? I know exactly where it came from. I'm going to say, you know what I think, but I know where it came from. It's one of the childhood traumas that I address in my book, and that I talk to my therapist about, or used to talk heavily about. Now that I understand, I don't talk as much anymore about it. But when you are let down, as a child, and I'm not saying I was let down, I was abused or anything, nothing like that. I had a pretty good childhood, but there was some internal stuff that never got addressed, and I kind of remember being disappointed a lot, and I kind of built some kind of defense around that. So it's like now, I try to make sure that, okay, if I ask you to do something, it's like, hey, what time are you going to do it? Well, what's the latest it's going to be? It's like I try to get people to commit to something. Yeah, yes. Commit. Say, tell me what you're going to do, and I want you to know, listen, I'm expecting you to do what you say you're going to do, because I kind of get upset. It breaks my heart when somebody doesn't call me back, even if it's a casual call. Hey, man, I'll call you back in 5 minutes, and it's 3 days later. And guess who do it all the time? I kind of sort of do it all the time. But and if it's casual, then maybe it's cool. And I'm not making excuses. But if it's business, it probably should mean something a little different. I don't mean to double talk. I'm just kind of bringing it out there. And I know I'm guilty. I can be guilty. I've been guilty. I might be guilty again. And I'm just talking about it. But back to the point I was saying. I believe it comes from my childhood. Being disappointed or not being able to get what you want, it causes you to build a defense, and you want to be there for somebody else. You try to show these things to other people. Hey, I want you to know that I'm going to be on time. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Can you do the same thing just for me? It's almost like I plant that seed expecting that harvest. If I know you're my friend, I do business with you, I'm telling you what I'm going to do because I'm literally expecting you to do what you say you're going to do. If I tell you I'm going to do your gig and then I have to come and ask you, where's my check or where's my Zelle pay, I don't like having to ask, because you didn't have to ask me to be on time. And I am not, complaining. I'm talking about nobody. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is it wrong?
I like that. My mom did that with me because anytime I would say, I said, Mom, can we go to the movies? She was like, I'll see. She wouldn't confirm or deny, but she'd say, I'll see. Or if I said, Mom, can we go to the grocery store? She said, yeah, I'll go. So she would never, get my hopes up there. She had to dash them. So that's one thing I really loved about my mom is she said, okay, we're going to go to the movies next week. And I'm like, we going? We're going to the movies next week. Or he said, well, can we go to the movies next week? I'll see. So when you get that I'll see, it's like, let me think about it. Let me see what the schedule looks like. So she would never set me up for a breakdown. And I love that about my mom. And I try to do the same thing with Anaya.
And I listen, I don't want to talk about your mom, but I don't know. I'm thinking that would scar me. You can't tell me no, I'm going to see. I need to know. I'd rather you tell me no than we're going to see. That would scar me beyond recognition. I would be like, huh? What do you mean we're going to see? You going to do it or not?
Yeah.
I'd have an attitude.
She needed to check her schedule. She needed to check, financials just to make sure.
But guess what?
Oh, yeah, we're going to go.
I'd have been your little brother who'd have been, listen, I'd have been knocking on her door or saying, hey, have you found out if we can we know now instead of seeing? I would be driving her nuts 2 minutes later, like trying to figure out.
You wouldn't go because she'll tell you right now, then we not going.
Okay, then I would rather that than to be hanging. I'd rather you be hot or cold. This lukewarm stuff, no. Sorry.
No,
I ain't talking.
I like that because at least she got back to me 6 months later. But I mean, if I asked her like on Wednesday, can we go to the movie Saturday? She said, I'll see. So then maybe by Thursday evening, she's like, okay, we can go. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you sitting in suspense. Oh my God, is it gonna happen? But she wouldn't get my hopes up. It's like, I'm going to the movie Saturday, and then no, you're not. So I like that she didn't just, put me out there and say, yeah, you're going. Because I had an aunt on my dad's side that did that to me every single time. And she was like, oh, I'm coming to pick you up, and will promise me all these things. We're going to go downtown. We're going to go shopping. And my dumb self sitting there waiting. And my mom just looking at me, and I'm sitting out looking in the window. Every car go by, my neck swinging. And she never came. And she did that to me twice. And my mom got on her and let her know, do not promise to do something for her if you're not going to do it. Don't tell her you're going to do it if you're not going to do it. Do not disappoint my child.
Hey, Christine, if you're still there, I want to hear Christine chime in on this. Thank you, Kimberly, for your comment. And Monk, please talk to me. Tell me, I need to hear from my audience a little bit more. And this is one of those subjects where I kind of need you. I want to know, for one, is this something that needs to be talked about? I mean, is it something, am I just running off at the mouth? And you don't have to be, you don't have to be a pastor or a preacher or somebody in, some strong religion to be held accountable. You should be held accountable. Your words should mean something. So what did Christine say? My mom would tell you to just wait and see, and you can't. Then that's your personal problem. I guess that's cool. I don't want to talk about anybody's mama, but everybody was raised differently. I can't even remember what I was told. I do know that if somebody told me something, ask any of my brothers and sisters, especially my older brother, he would say, "Don't tell that boy nothing because he's gonna hold you to it." I remember them kind of teasing me as a kid, saying, how persistent I used to be about expecting somebody to do what they say they're gonna do, and that's why I still. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell a little testimony. I remember telling my son that he was probably in third. God, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell this. TJ, he'll remember this. When he was about in third or fourth grade, they had spelling tests every week, and I told him if he made 10 100s in a row, we would go to Disney World. And I meant that when I told him that. And guess what? I studied with him every week, and every Wednesday they would have their spelling test. And guess what he did? He did 10 100s in a row, and that kind of went into everything. But it was third grade. Do you know when we went to Disney World?
Well, he was 20.
We went to Disney World after he graduated high school.
I knew it wasn't right away.
I'm kind of laughing now, but we had the best time. We took a road trip, and we drove and we stayed overnight and we hung out. I remember, and we didn't actually go because by the time we got there, when we planned the trip and we went, I shouldn't be laughing, Vivian. It's not funny.
That's not funny.
It's not funny. But we ended up going to Universal because I was like, okay, we're going up to Orlando. We're gonna do this, and he was like, by the time after high school, he's like, man, I'm trying to be about no small world. I don't need to go into that castle. That was for little kids. Let's go to Universal Studios. So we did take the trip and we did it, but it was later, and that's one of those things that I know that I said I was going to do, and it took me a long time to do it, but I did it, and I believe my son will.
But you did it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I meant to say I didn't tell him when we were going to do it, and I gave the impression that we were going to do it, much sooner than about 7 years later. Yeah. But it happened, we did it, and I don't think he's scarred from that. If he was scarred, maybe he'll tell me about it. But there's not too many things that I remember telling my son I was going to do that I didn't do, and I think it's more important when you have kids to be accountable, be present, and be
keep
there.
Your word.
Kimberly says I would tell my kids we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna talk about you a little bit, Kimberly. That's not cool. You can't be telling nobody we'll see. Cause that's no, man. No, you either do or you don't know. I think that's what. Now that I think about it, I probably got told we'll see too much, and those we'll sees became never saw. But anyway, I'm not gonna stay on it too much. I said I was gonna go into my not fair trailer. So if you have anything to say, we'll go ahead and close out. I'm still not done, on the subject of gays and lesbians. I do have a guest that's going to come on, and we're going to talk more about that. We're not done with mind, body, and soul because that's still, hot. And Christine says, why? I'm not sure what she means, why, too. Is she saying, why? Is it a problem? Maybe. Let's see what she said. My mom would tell you to wait and see. Well, I'm not saying it's wrong. Again, I don't want to talk about nobody's mama. I don't think it's wrong. I just think it'll cause some problems. Like me, look at me. I've got problems for the will sees and not being able to have something rock solid. I just need something rock solid. And one of my friends tells me I need to be I won't get into that, another conversation. Anyway, you have any closing thoughts on the subject, please tell me that you do so that we can close out and I can go into my not fair trailer. And by the way, I'm going to play this trailer. You can search for it on my YouTube channel. You can listen to the trailer and then listen to the documentary. There are a couple of others. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to feature some of those trailers at the end of the live stream to encourage you to go look at the full documentary because I'm going to get more into that. I'm really getting excited about doing this YouTube stuff, and I have a lot of idols that I watch myself and who have hundreds of thousands and of millions even of viewers and channels, and everybody has their own uniqueness in what and how they do what they do, and when you can find people that'll support you and it's for a worthy cause and it makes a difference in people's lives, I'm hoping that's what will happen. And if it doesn't, then I'll just kind of go and do something different. But right now, I'm enjoying, talking about things that are important to me that may even affect other people. This is the swimming pool. It's the acronym for Say What You Mean. It's talk about talking, and I'm just going to keep showing up and doing it. Any last thoughts on doing what you say you're going to do and following up and being available and being considerate of people's time and not disappearing when you know somebody's trying to find you, to either get what you said you were going to do done, and then you start not answering the phone or not returning text or something. That's just not cool. Anyway, come on, no closing thoughts at all?
I think, people just have to also be mindful that some people do have a lot on their plates and they can forget or miss, just be a little bit more understanding and not take it to heart that, they just don't want to do it or they just forget. Just be mindful. That's it.
Right. Okay. Well, as always, I appreciate you. I'm only cutting it short tonight because I'm not in my normal habitat, and I'm going to go to the trailer. And again, if you're watching, search the channel and find the documentary. It's not bad at all, and I'm going to do that for the next couple of weeks. I figure, I'm going to say maybe by mid-December I should be set back up in my normal place, and I'm even going to do some live streams with my saxophone some more. I might even mix it up, play a little horn, and then do my talk. I'm just going to have fun with it, and I'm going to make it go as long as it can go. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, R. Monk. And let's see if all the other people that kind of tune in later and watch. I appreciate it. Have a good night, my friend. I love you so much. And remember to find somebody you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it. And hey, I'll be back in a couple of weeks. You said we were going to hook up. Let's hook up when I get back next time.
Yes,
okay?
And bring my baby a shirt.
I will, I promise.
Or something.
I said I was going to do it. And when I do it, I'm going to come on bring you back. I said, listen.
This is a test.
No, I really am. No, I'm gonna hook both of you up. But anyway, right. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm gonna play this spot, and then I'm gonna come back. Well, when I return, it's gonna be with the Not Fair trailer. The documentary is on the channel. Find the documentary. Okay, I'll see you later. Have a good night. Okay, love you.
All right, you
okay,
too. Love you too.
All right.
Stay safe.
Bye. You
Bye-bye.
too.
Mighty horn music. Mighty horn music.
As time draws near and you plan your social events, call Mighty Horn Music for a party you and your friends will never forget. From banquets, receptions, family reunions, and church functions to birthday, executive, or private parties, Mighty Horn delivers. Event packages include live musicians, psalmists, comedians, clowns, and a karaoke show that's guaranteed to make you laugh. Mighty Horn Music specializes in providing a variety of music to keep your guests going for hours. Mighty Horn Music. Let us create a custom sound for your special event. From start to finish, Mighty Horn Music will plan your theme, decorate, cater, and entertain your guests with class and style. This year, make your events live with Mighty Horn Music. Call 786-487-7338, 786-487-7338, or log on to mightyhornmusic.com and let's party.
Okay. When I was a thought in my father's head, and before my mother even had an egg released, who I am was already predestined, as the country folk would say. And when that egg and that sperm connected, and that part of me was created, I was then a human being. I wasn't a thief. I wasn't a robber. I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't a Democrat or Republican. I was an embryo, a person. That's who I will always be. What the original creator of all things created. And that's just who I am. I am that I am. Now, after I was born, I began to take shape and mold into things that society has identified as labels. I was once a baby. I was once a toddler. I was once a young boy. I was a teenager. I went through so many different stages. That is who I became, and it was a part of who I am, but not who I am. I am that I am. Those labels that were attached to me after I came out of that birth canal are a part of who I became and who I still am becoming. When I am 17 years old, if I hang out with a certain crowd, and then I go into a corner store and I steal some candy bars, and I get caught and I get a police record, as an adolescent, that is what I did. That's not who I am, because who I am is still who I am. It's still what I did. I am not that. It's just what I did. So I get this police record and I go to court and they get it expunged for whatever. I'm still now considered a new person from a legal perspective or from a record perspective. I don't have that. So you might think that's who I am because you may remember that, but it's never who I was. It's still what I did. And without taking this long and drawn out any farther, the point I'm making is what you do is not who you are. It's just closely associated with you and gives identity to you, to be recognized. But it's not who you are. And I know that's heavy and deep thing, but I am a maybe black and white, or maybe too black and white, or a principle or a reference point perspective thinking type person. So when I see a person who falls on hard times because they are hungry and they go into the store and they steal something, I can throw them in jail forever because they did something because of a circumstance. But in my heart, I know, because I'm from the same place as they are. They were created a human just like me. That's not who they are. That's what they did. And we can all be redeemed. We can all be changed with the right guidance and direction. So for me to throw a person away or give them a label because of a circumstance that they had at a certain time that they were, under some kind of duress, I don't want to say that's who they are, because people change all the time. And no matter how far you are down, I believe you can always come back. So although you can say from a psychological perspective, the word person is in personality and a personality is who a person is. Well, okay, it sounds good. And even to say action speaks louder than words, all those things, what a person does is not who they are. Which means, it lends itself to when I said, that sounds contradictory. We were talking about what you were saying. And because I was referencing you, I was talking about what you were doing or what you were saying. And you, by choice, I think, chose to say that I was calling you contradictory when I wasn't talking about you. From now and for the rest of my life, anyone that has a heart and kidneys and liver and feet and hands and a nose and they look like me, they're never going to be labeled as that's what they are. So if you hear me say something about something you're doing or have done, I am never talking to you, the person. It's about that isolated incident at that isolated time. So to close in making my statement, I will just not be against you, but it's going to be tough for me to agree that a person is what they do because of whatever circumstance they do it under. I choose to believe that we're all created the same, and I'm no different than you, and I'm no better than you, and you can give me all the titles you want, and I might even deserve to have them attached to my name based on my actions, but it's not who I am. At the end of the day, I am a human just like you. I want to live just like you and breathe like you. I have family that I love and that love me just like you. So you can call me what you want to call me because of how you think or how you feel. I am not what I do. I am not what you think I am. I am truly what God says I am, and that is fearfully and wonderfully made without any attachments to me. Thank you for listening.